Yo, I'm Bob. Totally blind since birth, into Power Rangers. Got the Shout Factory box set in my hands. Right now it's blocking my face. Talking about Season 2, Episode 15, Episode 75 overall. This one's Orchestral Maneuvers in the Park. It premiered on October 4th in 1994. I remember recording this one. It was actually the first episode I ever recorded on audio cassette before spring break in 1995. So we didn't have a VCR with a timer. I had one in my room, but no timer. The one in the living room was on the fritz. So I'd have to record episodes onto audio cassette whenever I could catch them after school and on weekends. So I eventually got to where I had this backpack full of audio cassettes with MMPR episodes, two per cassette, one on each side. I didn't need a TV screen to watch them, and this was way before we had streaming. So yeah, I'd kind of lug my MMPR episode library with me wherever I went. I'd never listened to them during school because I would not want those to be confiscated. They never were. I was a good kid. Had six very sterling examples to follow. So, in this episode, we get to see Zach's cousin Curtis. He's going to be participating in a jazz concert. And Zach's going to let him borrow their Uncle Ed's trumpet. Lord Zed being Lord Zed, he's going to turn the trumpet into a monster named Trumpet Top. And yes, I wish Hasbro would make that. Trumpet Top was always one of my favorite monsters because he could create illusions of past monsters. Even though they were illusions, I really loved this big monster team up and subsequent brawl we got in this episode. I really love episodes like this. So Bulk and Skull, their scheme involves making a cast of Power Ranger footprints. So we get to see Bulk and Skull messing with a lot of cement. I wish I still had these old episodes on audio cassette. You could hear Kid Me giggling whenever Jason Narvi and Paul Schreier would be doing any of their antics. But they've gone wherever good cassettes go, probably ground into a fine paste in some dumpster back in Arkansas. So you get a putty battle, because there's got to be a group of putties to distract the Rangers while one, I guess he sprinkles magical pixie dust inside the horn. I don't know, Corey, man, if you've watched this recently, let me know what this sneaky putty does. So then, of course, we get the jazz concert, and as Curtis is blowing his horn, I think the dust, by the sound of things, wafts out of the horn, and the Rangers are exposed to it. And Lord Zed transforms the trumpet into a monster, and Curtis is freaking out. He has no idea where the trumpet is. And then we see Grumblebee showing up. The Rangers are trying to figure out where the heck the trumpet went. The first illusion shows up. They have to morph. And I really love this fight scene. We get to see, let's see here, going by the voices, I think Snizzard shows up. Maybe not, though. Mantis, that one's there. Sacadillo fighting Flea. One of them sounds like Pexter. Pexter and Parantis Head, they're both voiced by Scott Page Pactor, I think his name was. And it might not be Pexter, though. Nobody mentions him by name. I think it's probably Slippery Shark. I don't think Steve Kramer was there to voice the monster. Let's see. Yeah, but it was a really cool fight. Of course, Trumpet Top, he's having a field day. He's cackling while the Rangers are fighting nothing at all. And Bulk and Skull, they have no idea what's going on. They think the Rangers have gone nuts. Zordon and Alpha are trying to figure out why the Rangers are fighting nothing. Of course, they eventually figure it out. The Rangers are teleported to the command center. Bulk and Skull, they do get that cast of footprints. They've got quite a lot of footprints to work with. They're going to take them to the youth center later and try to make everybody step into them, so they can figure out who the Rangers are. So Zordon and Alpha give them the skinny on what's going on. They morph back into action. Trumpet Top, he becomes a giant, of course. And it's a really cool Thunder Megazord fight. After the Thunder Megazord's formed, he grabs their Thunder Saber. Doesn't really get to use it for long. By the way, he'd make an excellent figure in the Lightning Collection. I wish Hasbro would make that. I don't think we have any musical-themed monsters. I mean, I guess you could consider Paranta's head a well, he's not a musician. He just controls things with that flute of his. But they did call it a flute. Anyway, he'd make a fun monster. I think he could breathe fire. I'm not sure what other effects you could have him come with, but I think the fireballs would come out of his mouth hole. I don't think it's a mouth. But yeah, you know how it goes. The monster's destroyed. Lord Zed is blaming everyone but himself because, well, he's the narcissist, and that's kind of what he does. And the episode ends with Curtis's anxiety being assuaged because the trumpet shows back up, of course. And Bulk and Skull, their plans go awry. The cast of Footprints is destroyed. It is annihilated by the quick thinking of the Rangers. So they don't get to find out who the Rangers are. I don't usually rate these episodes, but I would say I'd give this one a 10 out of 10. I love it when past monsters would show up back in the day. As I said, even though they are illusions, I loved seeing a bunch of these guys show up. It was like a big toy commercial back in the day. And I really like the fight scenes in this one quite a bit. So next time we're going to be talking about Beauty and the Beast, another one of my favorites. The penultimate episode before the amazing White Light two-parter. Cannot wait to get into these next 3 episodes. So yeah, be here for Beauty and the Beast. And I'll hear you next time. May the power protect you.